Okay, Hyunjin Nim. I think out of everybody in the group, Hyunjin is probably the member I'm most similar to. And I don't believe in astrology or any of that, but maybe being born in the same month and close to each other, there are similarities in traits. I think if I was to write a letter to him, it would probably like I'm writing a letter to myself, which would be try and love yourself as much as you love others. Try and see the value in who you are just as much as you see the value in others. Try and understand that being a person who loves deeply, authentically, and sometimes obsessively isn't necessarily a negative. It's just a matter of being around people who can interpret your love in its true essence. I think it's very hard to be a person that sees the small things, right? It sounds interesting and nice in hindsight, like, oh, I noticed the small things and oh, they mean so much, but it's a problem. It can be a problem. I too am a person that is very cautious and very sensitive and very observant without wanting to be. It's just who I am. A change of tone, a change of behavior, a difference in consistency, a shift in the way that you speak to me, the words that you use are different. The way you present and appear in my life has changed. And that means a lot to me. So you'll find I might want to explore like what has happened, have I done anything, what could be the reason, and how can we change that. I'm also not a confrontational person. I would rather we try and just work through the problem without having to fight. I don't like to fight with people. I don't like to be on bad terms with people. I would rather we just, if we can, move on from the issue. And I've realized growing up that that's not how you handle conflict, and neither is it how you preserve relationships. You actually have to face the problem head on. And I've tried to learn how to do that as kindly and politely as possible, because I never want somebody to feel like they're nothing to me when I'm having an issue with them. And I see that a lot in Hyunjin. I'm also very artistic. I've been teaching myself like how to paint and draw and whatnot. I love to cook. I've been exploring different types of crafts and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know if it's being born similarly that makes it kind of interesting. Like, I see a lot of myself in him. I like to dance as well. But yeah, as a member, he's just a very interesting character to observe. I think a lot of his being and his essence gets lost in translation because of his looks. So a lot of people pay attention to the fact that he's a stunning person. Like, he's pretty, he's beautiful, he's handsome, he's charming, he's sexy, he's like, he's got like the whole package going for him. Even in his presentation, you can almost see, like Han said, art in life. Like, if art was to come alive, it would be Hyunjin. You can see how much he's crafted his particular presentation, because when he's like on stage and who he chooses to show us, there's an artistry in how all of them present themselves to us, right? There's an artistry in how each of them show up, and that's not necessarily them in real life. It's not necessarily them in everyday life. So you don't expect to see how they present all the time in real life, because there is a role that is assigned to different people in the group, a particular way of presenting, and I guess a different expectation based on what they feel would be a selling point, and he does his role fairly well. But I think he really does get robbed of a lot of credit to his artistry, his skill, his hard work, because people are so fixated on the fact that he's a good-looking young man. And I particularly like his tone. There's something so sensual and charming about the way that he sings. It's almost how do I put it? It almost entraps you in this like trance. He has a very peculiar way of bringing out his tone, and it's totally different from when like he raps, right? It's so interesting. Like, these people are so talented, and to see each of them not be outshone by any of the other members is very strange, because usually there's that one person who are like, this one, like, yeah, this is the one. But in Stray Kids there isn't. Like, if you're honest, if you're objective, and if you are really truthful, there's no one member of Stray Kids that you'll be like, yep, that's the it guy, that's the one. Like, yeah, you have members who are more in your face for different reasons, but if you are to put them on a talent-based comparison side by side, there isn't, because they all have honed what they are good at to the degree that wherever they may be lacking, the excellence in where they are strong covers that lack up. And it's just so interesting to see, And so, like, with Hyunjin, his heart is so big, and it does really like break my heart when people just concentrate on his looks and sexualize him. I mean, it's part of what they sell, right? It's part of the lure of getting people on board and whatnot. And to the degree that they are comfortable with doing it, it's their choice. But I think when people go beyond that, it's kind of like, imagine if that was your brother, imagine if that was your son. Would you really want people to go that far? Another member who I feel like people really do go too far on is Felix, but he'll have a video of his own, and it's like, it's a little much. Like, it really is a little much. Also, like with Han, sometimes like people really play into like some very interesting thoughts. So that's Hyunjin. I love his dance style. I love how it's almost like he breathes dance, like he's the type of person who's, and again, I get it, his love is obsessive and possessive. It's very hard not to, when you have that trait, it's hard not to love obsessively, not from a toxic perspective. And I think it's difficult to find people who understand what you mean by it. I'm a very possessive person. Also a little bit obsessive. So if I like you, and I guess you can see like in the videos, right? It's like, but yeah, that's the version of love. And I really do pray for all of them to find people who genuinely love them, who genuinely see them, especially from a partner's perspective, whenever they choose to settle down, if they don't already have people who they are partnered with. Because that type of lifestyle is so hard. Like, I think there are things that other people would never really understand about them. And that's why I'm so glad they have each other, because they have certain experiences which only they can ever understand. Like, even if they explained it to you, you can only sympathize. It would be very difficult to actually empathize in terms of understanding of what they've actually gone through. So you can sympathize and empathize from the outside. But yeah, I really do pray that they find people who love them beyond being stray kids. I think everybody deserves love, especially for those who have had a lot of their soul and heart taken away from the things of the world. Okay.